Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Hey guys, you join me here, Snowman86, and we are on Catlin Crocs version 0.8. So it was released on Tuesday, and today is Wednesday, so we're just testing out a few features. And in doing that, we are also attempting to complete the hay mission again. So I read the patch notes, and there was a bug in that hay mission, which kind of gives me slight hope that we can eradicate that issue now and push on here and turn hay. We have obviously cut it and tended it once it rained, which is part of the mission, and we are now here trying to get it down to just under 20% wetness. So a nice feature that I've noticed as I'm tending here, and I haven't noticed it before, is the grass texture. You'll see some of it stays the kind of hay texture, that kind of golden brown, and some of it is turning kind of a light green. So it's a nice touch that when you turn the hay or the grass over, it brings up the green side to it, which obviously hasn't seen the sun, which I think is just a very nice touch. So I'd be interested to see if that continues when you get it down lower in the moisture level. So another update that was done, I slowed down here, was the field guidance system that has gotten a revamp. So if we just turn it on, you'll see there's now offsets and stuff that can be done to it. Let me just come to a stop here quickly and we'll just talk through it. So you'll see there are a couple of changes we made. You still have the direction and the working width, and again these can be set automatically. We'll see we're now up to 8 meters. The width we can set to the current direction we are going. You now have a track offset, or we had this track offset already, but we now have an implement offset. So you'll see here that if you were plowing, again comes in very handy, you can set your offset so that you're still pulling the same line, but every time you turn it will be there. So a handy little feature there too, where you can automatically switch. So if we turned here, the offset would automatically change to the other side. So again, for plowing, very handy. But we don't need an offset here. And this is the next one. It changes the height. So if I just close out of it there a second, and I come to here, you'll see the lines are slightly stepped. So if you can step them all the way up to as high as you like. So obviously if you're working with any plant that is grown more than off the ground level, you'll see here on the 0 we've now lost it, but it's still there. So it just brings it down flush and brings it back up. Again, nice little touch. So, but again, at the moment we don't need anything on that. So the field guidance system has been reworked as well, which is, as I say, a nice touch. So we're just going to press on here, enable it. Now they still haven't fixed the steering wheel issue that I'm noticing here on my end. Anytime I touch the steering wheel, I will lose my GPS or my steering system. But the minute I touch the keyboard, it then brings it straight back on line again. So it's just a small note that little issue still persists within it. So as you see, as we turn it, there's the that brown color just disappears, and I am fascinated with that. It has a great feature. It really does make it feel more in the moment, and that you're not waiting for it to turn a texture color. So again, a nice touch. They really do make haymaking, especially the grass work in this, really pop to life and come to life. So kudos to them for that. Those of you who watch the other process of haymaking, you will notice that after the first heading we could just never get it dry enough. So it just forever stayed in this constant state of wetness, and after 3 or 4 weeks the grass had regrown and taken most of it. So we're just going to TED this out, and we'll advance a bit of time. Another thing to note on the update of 2 version 0.8, if you look below the time, you now have a date. So it now displays the current in-game date, which again, nice little feature. So we have one more turn to do here and we are away. Disable our steering guidance, and we'll get here to the field and we'll come to a stop. So if you run up onto the field now, you will see our volume of grass we have. Some of it is lighter, some of it is heavier. The drying, obviously where it is heavier, it's a little bit wetter than where it's lighter, which again you would expect. So again, some nice touches. If we walk out here onto where there's a bit of brown, you will see that the density or the volume of grass is very low where it has stayed brown compared to where the green is turned up, and again that is pretty accurate. As the lighter the grass, the quicker it will dry out and the browner it will get. So all in all, some nice touches. So we are currently at 5 to 8 in the morning. We're just going to skip through here to lunchtime, or just slightly before lunchtime. So got a bit ahead of ourselves. We're now just slightly after lunch, and again we'll see the level of drying has dropped by a good 6-7 points, so that is nice. And again you'll see the color here that's starting to kind of go a lighter shade of green, even starting to turn a little bit yellow. So we will go forward another hour and then we might head it once more. So it's kind of capped its drying here, so I think we will run the tether past it once more, and I won't show that now, guys, as you will be bored of me just heading, but we will TED it and I'll see you once we're done. So we have finished heading there for the second time. You'll see the moisture has stayed the same. A lot more of the grass has gone to green, so we've turned more of it up. And some of the piles, except for this one right that we're standing on, quite dense here, but they've evened out a nice bit. Which again is not an instant process, but the more you TED it, the more even I imagine it will get. So with that said, we're just going to skip time here now again till 5 o'clock. We might even actually go to 6, and we'll see what that 3-hour spell has done for the grass, and it is down again by another 3 or 4%. So we're just going to skip through the night, and I will see you here in the morning. Fingers crossed we don't get rain overnight. So as you will see, we got a small shower rain. The moisture level has increased again to the 40% mark. So just going to quickly check our calendar and make sure we're not in for any more rain. That is roughly when the rainfall fell. So again, I'm assuming this dark grey is when it is raining, and the yellow is then heavy sunshine. I'd imagine the greys is cloud, low cloud, high cloud. So you'll see we are in for 2 to 3 days of good weather, so we should be able to do this. That is the last rain until we get to Thursday the 20th at about 8 o'clock. We are predicting rain again, so hopefully we will have the hay off the field by that stage. So again, just a quick call, we are up around the 44-45% mark. So we will tell it again, and we'll advance the day as we go and see how it turns out. So there's a lot of planning we'll have to go into haymaking in this game. It's not just a case of cut it and you will be away after that. Just don't think it's going to work out like that. So, which again adds to the fun factor of it all. Just going to get into reverse here. So again, we shall TED it, and I'll see you at the end of this process. So we have TEDed it for the 3rd time in total. We'll see now we are sitting at the 43% mark, so we're just again going to advance time here, get to possibly 12 o'clock. So we're after getting to 12, we are down around the 34%. So it's slowly turning for us. So I'm hoping not to have to TED this again, but we might have to do it once more. We'll just get here now to 3 again. So just at 3 o'clock we are dropping it nicely down. We are going to have to TED it once more. just get that feeling that the two different moisture bars, there's quite a big range in it, ranging from 40 to 29. So the top half is 29, the bottom half is 40. Just for those who are unsure what those two symbols are, the one with the arrow pointing up is the top layer of grass, and the one with the arrow pointing down is the grass underneath that then, which is still registering in around 40%. And that is pretty average across the field, so we will have to ted it once more. Hopefully this one will see us out. So again, I will see you in a minute. There's been a lot of tedding going on here today. So we will ted it once more, and I'll be back to you in a minute, guys. So we are out here once more. One quick thing to note, you will see here this section of grass hasn't grown compared to the rest, and there's patches like that all the way around the field. This is as we turn the grass or ted it, is where the grass was sitting. Obviously grass won't really grow as quick as it's covered, and that feature is implemented here also. So you'll see this patch here, there's another one out here where again there was grass sitting, and once we've taken the grass off it, it will start to grow, but you'll see there's sections here where the grass is already starting to grow up again. So again, nice little touches. We will check our moisture levels. We are averaging kind of 33 on the top, 31 on the bottom, so it's not too bad. So again, we will skip time forward here a couple of hours, see what difference we get to. We'll hopefully get to around 6 o'clock here again, and hopefully we have no rain overnight, and this should hopefully make a difference for us. So you'll see we are getting it down. It is becoming closer to the values we want. So it won't happen today for us though, so we're just going to again skip through the night. So we are now again into day 3 of trying to ted hay, and we'll see our percentage values. So it will need to be tedded again just to keep it all around the same level, but we are going to ted it a little bit later than this. We are going to push out till 10 o'clock, and that's when we'll do our first tedding. So hopefully we can dry the top section that little bit more before we turn it. So our top section is now down to 18%, so hopefully one more tedding should possibly see us through it. So as I say, there's a lot in the grass here, a lot to be thinking about, but we are going to ted this again once more, and I'll see you hopefully this time and we'll be done. So as we can see here, we should be now looking at hay here shortly. The bottom half of it is under 20%, the top half is slightly on the wetter side now, so I'm going to give it an hour to dry, 2 hours. Go to about maybe 4, we'll go to 4 o'clock. Hopefully. So we have it down to where we need it, and it is pretty average across the field. There's a couple of sections I'd say like here where we might be a little bit high. So we have it where we need it. I think also over here could just be a little bit high, places where the tether didn't pass that often. So we're just going to hit those spots here quickly just to see why we haven't completed it there yet. We should have. And once we do, we will jump back in. So we have our hay down to an acceptable level here. So we were quite happy with that. Just so you know, it never actually accepted it as dry hay, so we did hit the skip button and it has worked out here. So we're just going to quickly now run back to the dealer, and I'd imagine we'll have to roll it up here. So we'll see you in a second, guys. So we have arrived at the dealer. We've detached our equipment. The tether still does its slowly rotating around in a circle. Something wrong there. Maybe just one of the adjustments for hitting when it hits the ground. It just seems to slowly rotate. So we have the option here now to complete. So we have hay made. As you can see, the total time it took there was an hour and 40 minutes all in. So we do have hay now made on that field, so we are happy with that. So that's it, guys. I think we'll call it quits here for today. That was an in-depth look at the hay making in the game, and it is quite intense. You have to be ready for it. There's no point lying about it. You need to really plan it out, including the weather and stuff. So all that is to be to be factored in as well. So again, makes it quite enjoyable. So with that said, on the next one we will be bring in the hay. So with all that said, guys, thanks for watching. I've been Snowman86. This has been Cattling Crops, the latest update, version 0.8. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you again. Take care.